Hello everyone, welcome back. I'm Joshua and this is Rooftop. In today's workshop, we're going to be making animal hangings made out of clay. Now, for this workshop, it's going to be very easy, so even beginners who haven't tried working with clay before, I will show you how we can mix it, mold it, come up with our own designs. So let's go through all of that. So now the materials I'll be using is I have some white clay with me, which is a regular molded clay, and then I have something to roll to basically flatten this out. So this is a plastic wrap, but since it's pretty much over, I'm going to use this to roll out the clay. And then I have my water, my brushes, and some acrylic paints. So let's begin. Okay. Now before I start, all right. Okay, I think that's better. All right. So I will first take my clay that I have. Now again, it's the same clay I used for the previous workshops that I had done. I'll just put this plastic to the side as well. And what I will do is I will first just tear these apart. I hope you can hear me. Okay, great. So I'll just tear these into, very thin strips. Now this is just something that I like doing. This is not, a specific way you need to start your clay mold with. This is something I like doing. Let's make it into tiny pieces. Okay, now that we have all these pieces, we'll bring them all back together. This there. This here, this here, this here. Okay, I'll put them all together. Now I'll start crushing them. So now when I do this, right, I will, wait a second. Okay. So now when I do this, I will just keep moving it from one hand to the other, because I don't want it to stick to my hand. And if I do it too slow also, let's see, it gets stuck to my hand. See, like this, you see all these white marks. So what I'll do is I'll just keep moving it from left to right. Okay, like this. And what I can do is I can just flatten it out a little bit like that. I'll just bring it ahead. Flatten it out like this. Roll it. And then mix it up once again. Now it needs to be very soft. So this already, if you see, it is pretty soft, but it's not soft enough. So then what I can also do is I'll just elongate it like that. So while I'm doing this, I'm pulling it to the side also. Okay, like that, and then I will bring it together like this, and then I will roll it, and then roll it again this way. Ooh, it looks like some fancy bread. What were they called? I can't remember. They had a, I think, a French name or something. Okay, now I think this much should be enough. So what I'll do is just mix it all up nicely. Brioche bread. Yeah, I think that's what it's called. Oh yeah, even a pretzel. Yeah, even a pretzel. That's the name I was going for, because it has that shape to it. Thank you, Anushka. Yes, now I will start spreading this like that. That should be good enough. Or wide enough. And then we'll spread it this way also. Make sure that it is even. In terms of thickness, you need to make sure that it is pretty even. Okay, that seems good enough. Now what I will do is I will draw my design, or draw the animal that I want to draw. So I'll start off with an owl. So for the owl, what I will do is I will take my blade. You just need to be a bit careful with this. Okay, and I will start off. I'll be making it a little big. I'll start off there. I'll come up. Then I will come. There are two. Okay. So it's cutting like butter. It's super soft. You know what? Wait. Let's flatten this part out. What we can do is, so from here, just like that. And then I will lift this. Look at that. It's so satisfying every time I do it. Oh no! I forgot it was soft. Okay, I will carefully lift it up. Okay, that should be good enough. Just be careful. Okay, now I have that there done. Now what I will do is, keeping this here, I will even draw a wing for the owl. So the wing, I'll keep it from here. I'll draw a circle like that, just like this. A raindrop kind of design, you could say, or a raindrop kind of shape. See, just like this, and this would come somewhere here. But now I'll keep this to the side. I won't just put it there yet. And I'll take another piece. and another one here also. And I'll make two balls with for the eyes. Okay, I'll put this here. Now we can start smoothing out the edges for this. So I'll just take some water. I think I can zoom in a little bit. Okay, that seems good enough. So I just took a drop of water. I'll take another drop as well. I'll smoothen out the top surface, and then with that same water I'll just go and round the edges. See, look at this and look at this. You see how rounded this one is? And then the same thing here. Okay, like that. Then I will take my wing as well, and I will place this thing about here. That should be fine. Just like that. Okay, take my water again, smoothen this out, and then smoothen the outer surface as well. Like that. Now, one thing to remember, right, is that this takes 24 hours to dry, and the thicker your clay or your final mold is going to be, the more time it's going to take to dry, because it might start drying from the top, but inside it will still be wet, or it will still be soft, you could say. Just like this. I'll come down. Yeah. Now we can go for the eyes. Now for the eyes, what I'll do is I will, oh, look at my hands. What I will do for the eyes is I'll just make these two symmetrical in size. Over here, I think both are very symmetrical. I'll just make my camera a bit smaller. Yeah, these two are pretty similar. Now what I will do is I will place these two over here. Yeah, I'll place these two right here. Okay, that does not seem centered, so you want it to be centered also. So we see this bottom part. If you draw a straight line on top, We want it to be exactly between the eyes. And then now I will start pressing this outward. Now if you want, you can take like a tiny toothpick and just poke it in. Like it should go between this and this. And small enough that it can go through both of them. Big enough it can go through both of them. And small enough that it doesn't stick out after you push it in. Yeah, just like that. So has any one of you tried any of the sculpting workshops I had shown you, prior to this? Because I had already done a couple of workshops regarding to clay and what we can make with them. So I'd like to know if any one of you have tried it, and if at all you did try it, you can send it to me on our WhatsApp group where all of our participants or all of our viewers are there, and it's a fun community. We share our works, we share our paintings, I give a few art challenges, hold up some competitions also here and there. So you should join it, it's pretty fun. And it's a very welcoming community. Okay. Now I'll take a bit of this over here. And I'll just put it up in here. Same thing this side as well. Just like that. So we can use the blade also to smoothen edges out. And then the same thing here. There you go. Okay, now we have that part done. Now we can make the beak as well. So for the beak, what I will do is I'll take a small piece. I'll first roll it out like this. Make sure it has some smooth edges. And then I will push this part, this back side, inwards a little bit. Okay, I'll flatten it down from the sides. And then from the bottom, I will pull it downwards. Just like this, and then sharpen the beak a little bit. Maybe I can press this down to make it a little bit wide. So it's going to be a little bit triangular, you could say. Now with where I want to place it, it's right here. So what I will do is I will just roughly draw out some lines. And I will draw out some lines here as well. Now I've seen people use this technique when it comes to construction. So I've made some lines there and I've made some lines here. Okay, now what I'll do is I will take a tiny drop of water and then just stuff it in there. Just press it down. And then from the sides, I'm using the flat part of the blade. I'm not using the tip or any sharp area. Just like that. And then for the bottom part, I will take a little bit again. Maybe I can take a little bit more. It's become a little too thin. So we'll make sure we mix it properly. Turn it into a ball. Okay, and now I will start flattening it out. And I'll make it smaller than this beak. Like that. And then I will put it right here. Okay. So now let me just see where I would need to put it. Okay, so over here I will add some small lines And then the same thing over here. So what this does is, these lines, since there is a gap between them like this, when you push them together it will intertwine, and once it dries it will be locked. So that's what we're pretty much going for. There you go, like that. And then the same thing here. And then for the base, I'll just widen this a little bit. And this also I will keep here. There you go, just like that. And then if we want, we can take a bit of more clay, let's push it down there, and then the same thing here. We'll take a little bit more clay, and then yeah, push it down just like that. So it's pretty simple, pretty straightforward. It can take a bit of time for the ones who are very new to sculpting, but once you get the hang of it, once you understand how the concept works of sculpting, then it's going to be a little easier for you to come up with these shapes, come up with these designs, so on and so forth. If you look at this, we have a snail also over here. I don't know if you can see. One second. Yeah, that's it wasn't done by me, but we have a snail as well over here, done by one of the kids that came to our office. Pretty cool. Very innovative concept, I say, for the shell. Okay. Now what I will do is I will take some white color paint to the side. A bit of blue. I'll just keep my colors out to begin with. And then a little yellow. A little, not too much. Let me show you. So I have some white, some blue, some yellow. Ooh, it's a lot of dust. And then we need some red as well, which I have over here in the tube. Okay. Now I'll take my brush. And what I will first paint is... Now see, one thing to remember is that we need to let this dry first before we start painting it. But since I can't, it's sit on stream for 24 hours and then continue it, it doesn't make sense. So I'm just going to paint over it directly. But you can at least understand, how to go about it. So I'm going to make this color pretty light pink. Like this over here. Maybe a little bit more red. Yeah, like that. So we can paint this part pink. Make sure you get every crevice in this. We don't want any blank or some empty spots in between. This over there. Bring this part down. And then a bit on this side as well. Now I know it looks a little, wobbly, but we're going to start adding the other colors in as well. So again, I'll take some white and then a little bit of blue. Oh, that is pretty strong. So what I'll do is I'll put this part for the wing over here. Like that. And then a bit on the feet also. You must be wondering why I've left this part as it is. That's because I'll be painting another color in there. Now I'll take this lighter blue color . There. here also. Okay, now I will clean this. I'll take my yellow color. Again, for this I need pretty little, honestly. Take a bit of yellow and then a bit of red. Mix it in. And get some orange. And then paint the nose. So you can use different sized brushes for certain areas. You can paint this orange. Clean my brush. And I will take some white color, plain white. And I will do the outline of the wings. Now if you see the color, right, it starts to spread. It's not staying even where I want it to be. That's because the clay is still very much wet. So when it absorbs, it starts to spread the ink. So the best time to paint this would be once it dries out. But just for your knowledge, I am doing it beforehand itself. Take a bit of blue, mix it in this. So I'm putting this color here to imitate the black. Some of you might be thinking I am using black, but it's just a very dark purple. So I mixed blue and red, and that's how I got this color. Then I can take some white. Okay, I'll take some white color. And then spread this around. Okay. Like that. Now once it dries up, I will paint it once again and then I will upload the picture onto our WhatsApp group. Because right now this is still very much wet, so it's a bit difficult to paint it. But I hope you get the idea of how we can sculpt it and then how we can start painting over it once it dries out. And I have white hands. Yeah, sorry I got distracted. So thank you so much for joining me in this live, and I will see you all again tomorrow. So thank you so much and see you again. Bye bye.